Hello, happy Tuesday, and in today's video, if you are catching the replay, we are talking about why your ads, one of the reasons why your ads probably don't work. So we know the holiday season is coming upon us, and many people are going to be utilizing social media, especially paid content, to reach their audience. And before you rush into doing that all willy-nilly, I want to share with you all a couple things that you may want to consider before running ads. All right, so let me know if you can hear me. I probably won't wait around. I'm just gonna have to hope that the audio is working. So yeah, I'm gonna jump straight into it. So today I'm really gonna talk about one of the main reasons your ads probably don't work. And this stems from a conversation that I was having with someone who was just asking me a couple questions to kind of help them get their ads going. And I asked them, well, do you have any idea of how to run ads? And when I say how, I don't mean understanding the platform and, you know, the back end. It's like, what is your game plan? What is your strategy? What are your goals? You know, you have to think about the creative. Like, running ads isn't just about throwing money behind your content. What is the creative? What is the message? What do you want people to do? What is the purpose of this creative? Is it for visibility? Is it to get people to know more about you? Is it to just jump straight into asking them to buy something? What is the plan? What is the game plan? And essentially they responded by saying, well, for context, they are on a limited budget, and because business is slow, they really want to give their business a boost by running ads. And I see this happen, and I observe this happen all the time, where people just think the solution to their business problems is to throw money behind it. I've seen this for like years. Even when people come to use your services as a service provider, they think that I'm just going to pay this person and they're going to make all of my dreams come true. They're going to solve all of my problems in one project. And sadly, honestly, business doesn't work like that. It's a constant working process. And while people can promise certain results, they're not just going to solve all of your business problems, right? You also have to be committed to being a part of the process in your own business. But I digress. I'm just gonna pause for a bit because I don't know why I'm getting more fan air than cold air. So let's see if that resets it. All right. Hopefully I should get some more cold breeze. So anyway, so yeah, people think that, especially in business, that money is just going to solve their business problems. And while yes, you need to invest in yourself, etc., you also need to be a part of the process, manage expectations, and you have to be committed to the process as well. So that's on a side note. So that same mindset carries out through social media ads, and they think, well, business is slow, so I'm just going to run ads. You know, everybody runs to social media because either it's free, or two, it's low cost by using ads. So they throw all their money at ads, then it doesn't work, and then they wonder, well, why this didn't work? This is a waste of money. They start to blame the algorithm, even though they run ads, or they start to blame Zuck, or they start to say, well, Facebook ads don't work, or it doesn't work for me. And we make all these like blanket statements, blaming everybody else rather than taking accountability, rather than blaming ourselves for jumping into something without any knowledge. So one of the things that this person also shared with me is that, well, in their response, when I was like, well, what's the plan? Do you have a plan? They were like, well, no, I was just going to jump in and figure it out as I go and rough it out, they said. I'm going to rough it out. I don't know what that means, but roughing it out is not a game plan, all right? Roughing it out means I'm going to throw money and hope something sticks. I don't know what this something is. There's a fine line between trial and error, like testing something out, versus just throwing money at something, or throwing strategies, or not strategies, tactics at a wall and hoping something works out, right? We all have to start somewhere, especially in business. Take risk, do the thing. I would never discourage anybody of that, but at least start off with some kind of planning. Get pen and paper and figure out, even if you're not sitting with a strategist or an expert in the marketing field, don't just feel, well, I'm just going to do this all willy-nilly. Start with even your brain and pen and paper and figure out and ask yourself certain questions. And sometimes you don't even know the right questions to ask. So that's a whole other thing. But I share all of this to say is that people run into spending money on things and they haven't really thought it through. And I'm not talking about the business owners out there who are afraid to spend money on their business, scared money doesn't make money. It's all about balance, right? I'm not talking about the business owner who is overthinking every little decision. I'm just saying there are times when you need to stop and think about, what do I really hope to get out of this? What is the plan? What is the purpose of what I'm doing? And how am I going to ensure that I do my due diligence? So I'm talking to you today about at least the aspect of running ads is your messaging, right? Ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on any social media platform is just a paid form of distributing your content. And content is basically distributing your message. All right, I'm going to say that again. Paid ads is just to get your content in front of more eyes. But you have to start with the content. And what is your content? Your content is supposed to be your message. It shouldn't be something random. It shouldn't just be, well, I'm just posting for posting's sake. It's about distributing your message. And many people aren't clear on their message, right? So this live is to talk about the importance of understanding your message. So you want to, when you are putting your messaging out there, you have to think about it like you are talking to your ideal client. You're not just talking to a wide group of people, because that's how some people approach business. Well, I'm just putting out this flyer so that everybody could hear what I have to say, rather than tailoring your message to who you really want to speak to. All right, so I'm looking up at my notes from time to time. So you're talking to your ideal person. You want them to buy from you, and ultimately your business is here to help them solve a problem. That's what a business is. It's a business is you solving a problem for your customer, and your product or service is a solution. So you want them to buy what you have. You want them to understand why to buy from you, and ultimately as well is because they are connecting with you or your business in some way. Right? So if you're the face of your brand, your personal brand, or you just have like a company brand, you need people to resonate with something that you're saying, or else people are just going to keep scrolling, or they're going to, or like in YouTube, an ad pops up while you're enjoying your favorite show. And if this isn't relevant to me, this doesn't catch my interest, it doesn't resonate, this is annoying, I am going to X out. And a lot of times people are just adding to the noise. So earlier I said content is essentially your message, or your message is your content, really and truly. But for many people, some people put out content and it's not messaging, it's noise. So what do you want? Do you want to be noise, or do you want to put out messaging? Right? When you think about your message, it's like a song, right? And this song is something that gets your attention. It makes you stop. It evokes an emotion. It sounds like music to your ears rather than noise. And a lot of people are on social media just making noise. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to be making noise. You want to be making music. And that's what messaging is. Now, you need to get clear before you can even distribute messaging. You need to find that clarity. You need to clarify your messaging before you can start speaking that messaging. And that is even arguable because sometimes you have to practice. Sometimes you might think you are clear, but it's through practicing you get to refine the message and you get clearer and clearer. But you at least start off with some sort of idea. Some people don't have an idea. They just know I have this product and I want to sell it. I want to sell, buy my product, look at the features, blah, 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 right? So how do you get people to resonate with you? You start to share more about your business's why, your business's value, the benefits of the product versus the features, and you want to know like what is, well, your why is essentially like your brand story. So you want to develop your brand story and you want to develop your brand voice. Every person has a unique voice, right? And we all have something unique to say, and we need to tap into that. And that is how you reach your ideal person. Every person, every business has a unique perspective on the world. So you might have multiple makeup brands. Rihanna Fenty is the perfect example, but she brought unique values and ideals to the marketplace, and that's why she was able to win, right? She had inclusivity as part of her brand message. What is your brand message that's going to set you apart from your competitors? Why you? Right? For me, when I started, my brand messaging was, I am a single parent. I am working from home because I want to spend more time with my kids. And that continues to be my brand message, even though it evolves. And people resonate with that, right? People resonate with your story. Now, not all the time you want to share your story, but you can also have a cause that closely aligns and is relevant with the business that you're in. So naturally, I tend to help and work with a lot of women because my messaging and also just my ideal client and the best fit for the people that I work with is women. So that brand story aligns with who I serve, right? I am in the process of redoing my branding. And it's in the early stages where it's just a thought in my head. I have an idea of what I want to create. I haven't actually started, but the ideas are ideating. And just yesterday, I was thinking to myself, now we're talking messaging here. Like, I have even gotten even more laser focused that it's people of color, it's Black women specifically, right? Not just women. And now I want to, in my new website, or should I say my website rebrand, I want to put that straight out on the first page. This is a creative agency for women of color. Rather than saying, I help female entrepreneurs. You see the difference in that, and all of that ties back to messaging. And messaging isn't a conversation as it relates to content creation for social media, but it ties back into everywhere you talk about your business, whether it's on TV, whether it's on radio, whether it's in the newspaper. It can also be on a podcast. It could be on YouTube. It can also be, there was another example, all right, the website, right? And this is why I'm talking about messaging, because this is where people get stuck when it comes to building their website. This is your business. Nobody is going to know your business better than you. So you have to be in tune with your messaging. What it is that you want to say to people. What do you want people to take away from you when they interact with you and your business? When people come on your website, they're interacting with your business. When they come on your social media, when they meet you, the business owner, at a networking event, what message do you want to convey when your business has an opportunity to distribute its message? And a lot of the time, people's messaging isn't clear. So if you aren't clear, when you start to speak, it's going to sound crazy, right? For lack of a better term, you're going to sound jumbled up versus somebody who is laser clear on their messaging. You are going to be able to articulate the value of what you do, and not just the value, but just articulate what you do in a way that's going to stand out from another person who's at the networking event in your same field, right? So that is one of the reasons why messaging is so important. Just checking my notes. So your brand story, as I mentioned before, ties into your why and why you do this, why you started this business. This is how you will deepen connection, right? So just to recap and to pick back up, as my notes have it here, is branding is also about connection. So you want to connect, as I mentioned before, you want to resonate with who you're speaking with so that it really gets them to, like, if you're a local business, pick up the phone and reach out or send you that DM to inquire about your products because you are standing out amongst everybody else. Okay? And at the beginning, if you're now joining, you can catch the replay. I would have shared the story as to why I'm doing this class, because I shared all of the reasons, well, not all of, there's unlimited reasons why messaging is important, but I touched on some of the reasons why messaging is important because this is a problem that I saw, right? And I feel like that is the best place to start when it comes to creating your content, because content is about distributing what you have to say, what is your unique perspective on things in your industry. You know, a big reason why people are copying others is because they haven't tapped into their unique brand voice. What is it that you have to say? Like, it's great to look around at your competition, right? That's called research. But there's a fine line between research and just always looking to someone else to figure out what it is that you want to say in your content, or what to write for a caption, or what am I going to put on my website. At some point you have to stop and say enough is enough. What do I have to say? What is different about me? And if you can't figure out what is different about you, that is something that you need to stop and think about and ponder on for a bit, because I hear it from my colleagues all the time. So by so is always inspired by my content. Now that could be an ego trip. We're not getting into that. But from observing, being in the entrepreneur space, being a small business owner, a lot of the times people are lost, confused, don't know what to post, or they always need to like look at their competition. I really try not to like say that, but the fact is you're looking at someone else in your industry. I mean, not say competition. You're looking at to someone else in your industry all of the time, because you haven't really figured out what your value is. And if you don't know what your value is, how can you express this to the world? You have to figure those things out for yourself. And that is what I was meaning when I said earlier, clarity. You need to be clear, because the clearer you are, the more articulate you're going to be when speaking to someone. And that is going to cut through a lot of the noise when you're trying to really explain to people, well, what do I do? And why me, or why my business? Because you are super clear on who you are, who you serve is also, we hear about niching all the time. When you say, I do X, Y, and Z specifically for these people and why, you're going to attract your people. And that's another big part of content creation and running ads. It's not about reaching the most people, because another reason why you're frustrated, and not just with ads but with social media, is because you're trying to get the most likes or the most shares and the most comments. My content that does not have the most likes and the ones that convert to sales. It may build relatability. Now, it has its own purpose. Each piece of content has its own purpose. But the revenue generating posts don't always have the most likes most of the time. But the person who needs your product or service is making a decision, right? They're reading, they're making notes, they're considering, but they may not be commenting because there's nothing to comment and say sometimes. It's just, do I need this or not? And then they may make a note later on, I need X, Y, and Z. I am not ready for this right now. They have that awareness, but they're going to come back later. So if you think your post from last month didn't perform, you have to keep going because it's performing for the right people. And another big reason why I am passionate about this workshop that I'm doing on October 29th is because I see you all frustrated. People right now are enjoying bashing Instagram, complaining about Instagram. Everything is TikTok these days. But to be quite honest from you, my sales don't come from TikTok. They actually come from Instagram or LinkedIn. Lately, it's been that. So a lot of people are just chasing fame. They're chasing popularity. They're chasing, nothing is wrong with using TikTok, by the way. Everything has a time and a place, and you just need to understand where it fits for you, right? It's not a blanket statement. What I would say as a blanket statement is that it's safe to say that TikTok is great for visibility. But why do people leave TikTok to go and follow somebody on Instagram? Because TikTok is just not the best platform all the time for the average person for building community for a business that's going to convert to sales. I took a risk there to say that publicly, right? That is my observations so far. All right, so that is another reason. That's another reason why your messaging is important. It comes down to throwing money at ads and being frustrated that if you're not spending money on ads and you're here like, okay, I'm committed to the organic process. I am not trying to spend any money on ads. But then you're posting content, and you get burnt out, you get frustrated because you put all of this effort into creating a reel, finding an audio, or creating beautiful carousels, or maybe you hired somebody to create content for you. But all you're looking at is the likes and the views, and you're frustrated with this app. The fact is, people are frustrated with Instagram. But when you start to create content from a place of, this is my unique perspective on the world, this is what I have to say, this is what is awesome about me, my product, my business, this is what we stand for, these are the values, it immediately, I would say, it melts away that frustration, because now you're creating content from a place that is soulful, for lack of a better term. You're coming from a place of like, this is an alignment for me, and regardless of how this seemingly performs on the surface, my people are going to get it. My people are going to resonate, and my people are going to ultimately form my community. They're going to join my mailing list. They're going to attend my event. They're going to buy my product. They're going to reach out to work with me. All right. So if any of this has resonated with you, I would encourage you to go back and watch the replay from the beginning so you have full context. And just know that if you are burnt out, frustrated with Instagram, or creating content and being on this hamster wheel all the time, or you've ever found yourself throwing money at ads and saying it doesn't work, then you need to be at my Master Your Message workshop that's happening October 29th. It's virtually, so it's a online workshop, so you don't have to worry about spending money on gas. You can just open up your computer, use the Zoom link, log into the class, and it's a digestible class. Like, that was another thing that was important for me, that this class is something that is digestible and easy to consume. So it's only 2 hours long. It's $550 TT dollars, or $75 US. Actually, no, the 75 is the early bird price. The 75 US is the early bird price. The early bird price in TT is $450, but then after this Friday it goes up to $550, and registration for this workshop ends October 15th. So the workshop is happening in 4 weeks. It's 2 hours from 10 to 1 with an hour break in between. And yeah, that is it in a nutshell. So if you want to sign up, just head to the link somewhere here. I'll put the link that you can get it, or you can simply send me a DM that says workshop, and I'll send you any further details that you need on signing up. All right, have a great Tuesday, everyone, and I will see you at the workshop.